as expected, we're getting a null reference to the ship that we're sending, which means our whole thought process, my whole thought process, I'm not going to throw you guys under the bus for that, is that this handle collided isn't working as expected. We're not getting the information we need. So I wonder if it's coming in too late. Let's find out. It could also be that it's just colliding with something. There was a piece, I said something. If you rewind the video, if you're watching this, you will see that I mentioned something like, oh, this isn't going to grab the right thing. I need to grab the parent. I'm not grabbing the right thing. I'm not grabbing the parent. I think that's what's going on. Yeah. Yeah, look at it. It collided with all these great things. These are all things that I need. What I actually need is the parent of these things. So, to explain exactly what's going on, our event is doing what we told it to. Too bad we told it wrong. So, when we look at a ship in the game, in this case, the Starr Wolf, we'll zoom in right there. See, we're looking at the Starr Wolf. The Starr Wolf has a ship state manager, this thing right here, which is what I'm trying to get access to. But this isn't what collides with the collider. Instead, these game objects below it collide with the collider. So I need a way to get the top parent. Actually, I don't need the top parent. I need the parent that has that game object. So we can do some sort of recursive loop that keeps looking up until we find a ship manager. And if it's null, then we ignore it. Yeah. So, while ship manager equals null and transform collide dot transform. So we're going to write a loop that basically walks up the thing that we're colliding with until we find an object that has either a ship manager or we've reached the top parent, in which case we don't have a ship manager. That should be really all we need to do. And if I'm wrong, we'll have an infinite loop and we'll crash the game. Let's see what happens. Oh, yeah, we already got it. So I totally coded something wrong there. Unity just froze because I enabled us to have an infinite loop. That's alright, we'll bring it back. Let's load up this window again. Bring this back down to the right size. Alright, so what did I do wrong? Not equals null and transparent does not equal trans. That should be fine. Let's try checking against null. And just because I don't want that to happen again. This will save us from that freezing loop. I'll take it out after when we have a while function that actually works correctly. I don't remember if it's at the top if trans.parent or transform.parent equals null, or if it equals the same thing. I'm guessing it's null because we had that crash. Oh, we're not even loading the same thing. Let's go to the right scene. Hallway to Treyarch. Should be fine. Hopefully our mission's only 1 second long. Totally isn't. Got to fix that too. When we crashed, it didn't save a bunch of information that we had adjusted. Hopefully we didn't lose so much. It's a good idea to save your project before you do something that's risky. Where is that? This one. Ooh, that crash made us lose a lot of information. A bunch of prefabs that we edited are not available anymore. So I can't even bring this out. So we're going to have to recreate something, which kind of sucks. What is this? Event landed station. Station. It has a docking position below it. Alright, what were the things that we had? We had a trigger that collided with an event object. And we linked that up. The tag was player ship. So that stuff I did at the beginning, I got to do that again because I did not properly save. Although I save the scene a lot, Unity doesn't automatically save the project, which is probably one of the most frustrating things about Unity. Whenever you adjust a prefab, it only will save those prefabs on exit or if you save the project. Bit of an oversight. I should probably just bind that to Command S so it saves that as well. Alright, so we had a couple things going on, if I remember. We had our event doc. That one was important. We had our collision reporter, which was on our east, somewhat directly. I need to put the collision reporter on there. Alright, what were the other things that this thing did? I don't think there was anything super important. Oh yeah, we loaded up that scene. How could I have forgotten? And load scene. We load up the dock. And we move that dock. That's why I did. Okay, yeah, now it's all going back. I remember now. Where was it? Move to location. Type dock. And we move it to the docking position. Speed 1. Oh. Awesome. And our docking position, as you remember last time, was negative or 4,300. Now we have event land at station. I need to bring this up here so I can drag it over. And we're going to save that project. And we had another one. The station appears. And station appears. This one, remember. The trigger was our mission time being 1 second. And our trigger, or the event, was a sub-event, which made the Eastern collider appear. Eastern landing option. Boop. So that's event station appears. I can't even overwrite that. Those are just corrupted prefabs. Alright, file, save projects. Now, if it crashes, it's okay. We won't lose any data. Let's see if it crashes, though. There we go. Our thing isn't appearing. Oh, that's why we didn't actually put those events into the loader. That's the other bit. I want station appears and then land at station. Alright, sweet. Save project. We've got some sort of error, which is super exciting. Event trigger collider, couldn't find it. I didn't actually assign that a trigger collider. Yeah. My trigger is the east. It's mission time. That's fine. Glide trigger. Got to put that in. There we go. I'm not spawning the landing east either. Trying to get this all back to running. Just put it in here. Let's see here. East should pop right there. Excellent. And we go. It spawns it, and we get an error. So we still didn't correctly dock the ship. We expected this to give us something, to walk up and give us the actual thing we collided with. So that's what we collided with, which is fine. It should walk up and be able to find something with ship state manager. So debug.log warning. My count is actually breaking us now. So if ship manager equals null. Let's only assign it if we get it. I feel like that thing that pops up on the screen that allows you to see my keys, I try to like close it by hitting escape. It kind of looks like the until a sunset pops up. But you want to see it. You actually want to see me hit my commands. I guess I do them a little quick though. Okay, so that, oh, that's only if it equals null again. I want to see if, the reason why I'm doing this is I want to see if we ever get a ship manager. Alright. We're still getting a null. We do get these collisions, but the ship manager actually never happens. So, we're going to need to figure out why the ship manager is not getting in. Let's go ahead and do this. Trans.name. Let's see what it's going through. It should eventually get up there. I'm also going to reduce the count significantly to 3. I don't want like a million log messages going on. Well, actually it'd be 400. So apparently Fool to Dream says that you can load the original Panzer Dragoon off the Horda disk. That's really cool. I'm gonna look that up and figure out how that's amazing. Okay. I didn't do the thing I was supposed to do. Else trans equals trans.parent. I didn't actually do the thing where we stepped up. I just kept checking the same thing over and over again. It would help if I wrote the code that would do the thing I wanted it to do. Cerberus says that my determination meter is off the charts. I just get really annoyed if like a thing isn't working and I need to like figure it out. I guess that helps me like play video games, right? Like you need to figure out the solution. All right, we've got the Star Wolf. We found it. Does the log warning find it? Like we have found the Star Wolf. That's good. But we're still getting this null reference, which means it doesn't actually have a ship. So why is that happening? Turtle Spence is heading out. Thank you for joining us, Turtle Spence. Don't worry if you can't finish the stream. It's going to be up on YouTube. You can watch the rest of it later. It's fine. you don't have to finish watching this, but I do have to finish. I just want this one last bit. I want us passing the ship manager to the dock. That's good progress for the day because that's a majority of the complicated manner. Of course, I'm going to have to rewrite a majority of it because I don't like the way it's working, but it's given me a perspective onto how we can go about doing it, which is useful. Either way, I want this ship manager. That's the thing I need to have. I need to get the ship manager passed. So my consideration is, are this happening in the right order? Now, these logs happen before this log, so it is indicating that we should have access to the ship manager. We only try to do it if the ship manager is null. You know, I never actually do that. We assign it, but then we get the parent of it. We never actually get to this aspect. Oh, that's why. I'm always grabbing from the same object. I need to grab from trans. Oops. Trans is the object we're looking at. I was actually grabbing from the same original collider and not from the transformation object, because we get the original collider when we collide with it, but we need to ask its parent if it has the ship manager. Because in Starr Mazer, I tend to build colliders underneath the objects that manage them. Boop. Hey, look at that. We don't have an error. Let's see what's actually going on, because that just sort of like flashed before our eyes, right? That wasn't very useful at all. That's what the world looks like. So, where's our Star Wolf? I mean, it worked. We're good, but I just need to see this one last thing. That's all. Totally, just one last thing. All right. So the Star Wolf isn't here anymore. It's indicating to me that it is being moved. Okay, moved. I think if we keep watching, yeah. So the Star Wolf is being moved by this this pink block. You'll notice that as the pink block goes down, the Star Wolf goes down. That means we did the thing that we set out to do, which was attach the Star Wolf to the arm that does the animation that goes through. What the arm does here, I'll pause it and I'll try to get this to I'll show you exactly what's going on. This is a pretty good starting point, but let's see what actually happened there. So our collider appears. We're going to go collide into that. I'm going to try to pause as soon as we do. All right, so we can see this step by step. We'll go into the scene. First thing that happens, the bay gets loaded. You can actually see the bay. It's right there. We normally don't want to show this visually, so we'll do something to hide it first. Next thing that happens, I go one frame, the bay's not there anymore. The reason why the bay isn't there is because we moved it. If we look at our whole scene here, we've moved the bay 4,000 meters over and 300 meters up. Now, the next thing that we do is in this frame, we attach our Star Wolf, which is right there, to this pink square right here. We just passed the Star Wolf to the dock that said, hey, this is your open docking bay. The Star Wolf wants to come in dock. And so if we actually watch this, now it's going to start moving. We've already done an animation on this pink block that I've selected right here. We've done an animation to actually move it through. And what it's doing is it's actually moving the Star Wolf as well. You'll see there's a green box down there. That's the Star Wolf. They're moving in sync because the Star Wolf is now a child of this box. What's great is that we can do this to any ship. We can throw on a destroyer, we can throw on Slimo ship, whatever. Any ship that decides to dock, we can put it in there. It'll be the same animation. The ship will have its own animations, but this is what the dock system does. It allows us to put any ship through an animation where it boards in. If we'll see it, it'll actually go down into the bay and start slowing down. I'm doing this frame by frame, that's why you hear me clicking rapidly. And we'll actually go in there. If we go into the game window, we're not zoomed in on the bay, so we won't see that. But yeah, the ship is being placed in. Now the thing is, you'll notice that this is ridiculous. The Star Wolf is offset by 100 pixels or whatever. The reason being is because we haven't done that thing where once we hit the docking bay, we actually need to tween the ship over to the arm so it locks in place. Basically, imagine an autopilot turning on and the ship going to autopilot to where the docking bay lines up, and then the docking arm takes it in. That's sort of the process that's going on. But yeah, sweet. So that's it. We've made some good progress. We were able to set up the initial state of transferring information between a collider all the way to the docking manager, and the docking manager now has the ability to do its thing. We're going to be ending the stream at about here. What I'm actually going to do next is, tomorrow while I work on things, I'm going to clean up a lot of this code that we wrote. We have some direct references. We're talking to the player ship directly. We have to find objects by their tags. It's not super elegant. I want to find ways to grab these objects without having to directly reference them. So I'm going to have to think about the architecture a little bit, which is a little hard to do while I describe things on stream. So it's something better left for after. But thank you all for joining. It was great talking with you about video games and showing you a little bit of Starr Mazer. Join us on Saturday as we play some more awesome games. Soon enough, those Saturdays will be filled with builds of this game, hopefully in like a month or so. But yeah, thanks again for joining. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Let me know what things you want to see as we code in the game next time. We're going to end it here. So, bye everybody.